Hello loves, it is currently Saturday the 1st of October and I got back from my holidays yesterday. It was a fantastic time, had a really good time, but it's nice to be back and be back for October as well. I'm really happy it's October. I love fall. It's one of my favourite seasons, winter being my favourite, but you know, autumn's right up there with winter, probably on par to be fair. Winter's only my favourite season because it's my birthday and I love Christmas, so but I love the colder months, I really do. So obviously I've been in like 32-degree weather for the last 2 weeks and I've come home and it's currently, what is the temperature? It says 16, but it certainly doesn't feel that way. It feels a lot colder than that. It will drop to about 11 degrees tonight though, so it's pretty chilly. And I planned to have like a massive filming and editing day today, get straight back to work and be back on it today, but I'm not feeling great. So I've decided to just take my time with getting back to normal, and I will ease myself back into it over the next couple of days. So on that basis, I thought, why not kick off October with a bit of a bang and do a bit of a cozy reading vlog this weekend. If I decide to film in between, that's fine, but if I don't, that's also fine, and I'm just gonna ease myself back into it. I'm feeling very flu-like. I think it's probably like the AC and going from really hot weather to cold weather very quickly, and I'm feeling like I've got a bunged up nose, I'm feeling a bit phlegmy, and I've got a dicky tummy, and I'm just very tired, so I don't feel great. So we're going to curl up on the sofa, we're going to do a bit of reading. I have 3 books that I've got in mind. I'm not planning on reading them all this weekend, but we'll see how it goes. The one that I really do want to get to is The Butcher and the Wren by Alina Urquhart. I think that's how you Urquhart. And that's how you pronounce that. My apologies, I will look into that. Which is a little bit of like a serial killer meets forensic pathologist book. So Wren was never afraid of the dark until she learned that some monsters are real. In deep Louisiana, a serial killer with a taste for medical experimentation is completing his most ambitious project yet. The media call him the Butcher, and so far he's proved to be impossible to catch. With her encyclopedic knowledge of humanity's darkest minds and years of experience examining their victims, forensic pathologist Dr. Wren Muller is the best there is. The longer the Butcher's killing spree continues, the more determined she is to bring him to justice, and yet he continues to elude her. As body after body piles up on Wren's examination table, her obsession grows. Pressure to put an end to the slaughter mounts, and her enemy becomes more brazen. How far is Wren willing to go to draw the Butcher into the light? It sounds fantastic, and someone on the back has put perfect for fans of Dexter. I absolutely loved Dexter, so I'm excited for this one. It's not very long, it shouldn't take me too long to get through, so I'm determined to read this one this weekend. But I do have 2 others that are like pretty, I don't know, not necessarily high on my radar, but I'm in the mood for. So they're high on my radar, I suppose. But I do have In My Dreams I Hold Knife by Ashley Winstead, which is 6 friends, 1 college reunion, 1 unsolved murder. So I have that one, and I've heard fantastic things about this one. And then the other one is The Witches of Moonshine Manor by Bianca Maris. And this one is A Coven of Modern Day Witches, a magical heist gone wrong, a looming threat. So I'm keen on both of these. Whether or not I get to either of them, I don't know, but I just thought I would mention them. This is what I'm in the mood for right now. And honestly, this whole thing is a little bit of a vibe. We have the blues, we have the yellowy golds, we have a bit of black, so I'm here for this. I may pick up a graphic novel or a manga in between, we'll see, but yeah, those are my plans. I'm going to dive in with The Butcher and the Wren first, and then see what happens. There is a race this weekend as well, so I will be pausing to watch the qualifying at 2 o'clock. It's currently 20 to 1, so I've got a little bit of time before that starts. So I'm going to make my way through a bit of this before the F1 starts for qualifying. And yeah, it's just going to be a chill weekend reading vlog. could be deemed a 24-hour, I don't know. It will depend on how I'm feeling tomorrow. It could go all day into tomorrow, could go a bit into Monday. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes, but I'll keep you posted, let you know how I'm getting on. And I'm gonna make a start on the butcher and the Wren and eat some skips because I'm a little bit hungry, but I don't want to cook anything. I did some of my electrics trip while I was on holiday. So my freezer's been off for a long period of time, so everything in my freezer needs to chuck in. So I'm gonna do it this weekend. I just can't bother right now, which it seems incredibly lazy, but I cannot. I don't have the mental capacity for it because it was rammed with food. So I'm really pissed off about it, but there's nothing I can do, unfortunately, which means that I did have like mini pizzas in there and stuff, and I could have chucked one of them in for my lunch. No can do, unfortunately. So that's where I'm at. I do have food in. I did a mini shop last night on my way home. I couldn't bother doing a full shop, but I didn't buy anything freezer wise because I was like, oh yeah, I packed the freezer before I went on holiday. I should stop doing that. So that's where I'm at. So I'm gonna go make a start on this. I'll keep you posted, let you know how I'm getting on. I'm gonna break for F1 qualifying at 2 p.m. So let's go. And I thought I would do an update on how my day is going. So far so good. I've just filmed my October TBR. Yes, looking like this. No, I don't care. I also finished watching the F1 qualifying for Singapore Grand Prix, which was bizarre to say the least. And I've done a little bit of reading so far as well. So it turns out Becca's picked this up today as well, which is interesting. I've got to page 83, so I'm here. And I'm enjoying it so far, it's good. We're getting 2 POVs. So we're getting the POV from a guy called Jeremy, who I assume is very much so a serial killer, but I don't know if he's our serial killer. I'm not sure if there's going to be a twist here at this point, I'm not sure. But we're following him, and then we're following Wren, who is our pathologist. And it appears that she may be being targeted, but we're not sure. One of her business cards has turned up at one of the crime scenes, and she's a little bit nervous about it, and she just had a very strange interaction with a tarot reader as well. So that was bizarre, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm listening to the audiobook as well, and it's got 2 narrators, which is very good. I'm enjoying the audiobook a lot, so I'm really enjoying this. And I want to check out Morbid, the podcast, but I'm going to carry on with this, and I kind of want to finish it, so I'm hoping that that will be possible. I don't know how much longer I've got left of the audiobook. I'll be able to finish it this evening as long as I don't get distracted by anything else, but so far I'm really enjoying it. So I'm 32% in. Stop. 4 hours and 20 minutes, so 2 hours and 10 minutes. I might be able to finish this before I eat some tea, so that will be great. So that's my plan, to finish this and then I will move on to something else this evening, I think. Either In My Dreams I Hold Knife or The Witches of Moonshine Manor. I think they're reasonably the same length on audio, so it doesn't really matter which one, just depends on how I'm feeling. So yeah, I'm gonna carry on with this and get some more reading done. I've just gone and lit a very nice candle in the kitchen and then lit a different candle in here because Autumn Citrus has been going for a couple of hours. So I've lit a different fall candle in here for a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna carry on with this and I will give you another update probably when I've finished it, unless there's something really urgent to tell you in the meantime. But so far, so good. My first book of October on October 1st, which is nice. I've been making my way through books at a reasonable pace, but I feel like September was a little bit slow for me. I think because August was like my second best month of the year. September I read 9 books, which isn't too bad considering I was away for 2 weeks of the month. And I only read 3 books on holiday, so it's not too bad, but it's nice to have, you know, day 1 of October and a book finished. Now, this book, you know what it's about. I've told you several times now. We're following a serial killer and a pathologist. Wren is our pathologist. We have a serial killer. We have dual POV, we have the serial killer's POV and Wren's POV, and it's a very interesting way of doing this type of story. It's I'm trying to think now if there's another book that I've read previously where I've read from the serial killer's POV, where we know their name the entire time and not semi-aware of who they are, but you know, kind of a little bit aware of who they are. But it was interesting. The intrigue on this is so high. So I use Corpile to rate my books, which is a system that's been set up by G from Book Roast. I'll leave a link to all the information in the description box down below so you can go check it out. But essentially, you rate the book using this system. So you rate the book on characters, atmosphere, writing, plot, intrigue, logic, and your enjoyment. So you rate it on 7 different things. So for the characters for this book, I gave it a 6. You rating it out of 10. I gave it a 6. We don't get any background story at all into these characters. You don't write in, essentially. It almost feels like there should be a book that comes before this, where we have a little bit of build up and we get to know our characters. We know nothing about Wren other than the fact that she's a pathologist and she's married. You do get to know a little bit more about her, but you don't know about her character very much. There is a scene where she goes out with some friends, but even then it's a very small scene and you don't get a lot out of it. But we do, about 3/4 the way through, there's a massive twist, and I didn't see it coming. Even if I'd have said that I'm kind of see it coming, I was lying. I didn't see it coming. It was a very good twist, very intriguing. Jeremy we know a little bit more about. Not only because we're finding out about him from Jeremy's POV, which he tells us quite a lot about himself because he likes to talk about himself, but we're finding a lot out from the police department, which is Wren's side of things as well, about the murderer. So, characters like a 6. For the atmosphere, it got, I think I gave it a 9. It was really good. There were parts where I found it quite creepy. There was a scene partway through this where Jeremy had a victim and they were in the middle of nowhere and it's pitch black, and it was quite eerie, very, very eerie. So a 9 for the atmosphere. The writing got, I think maybe, I can't remember now. I should have opened this up on my phone so I could tell you properly, but I think the writing got like a 7 or an 8. It was fine, it was good, and I am intrigued to read more from this author in the future. This is a debut, by the way. The plot got a similar thing. The logic I think maybe got a lower rating again, like a 6 or a 7, just because, again, because we didn't have any background to the characters, I feel like we were just kind of dropped in a little bit, and at some point there was like at the very end, most frustrating part of this book was the very friggin' end, in which it's completely open-ended, entirely open-ended, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck just happened? Like, I'm getting to this point where I have like 4 pages left, and I'm like, what is happening right now? How is this book gonna end? Please don't rush this all in like 4 pages, because that's just gonna be annoying. It's very open-ended. Had I known going into this that there is gonna be a sequel, I wouldn't have been as freaked out, but I got to the end and I was like, I'm so unsatisfied with this book, I'm really fucking annoyed, blah blah blah. Turns out, if you listen to the audiobook, there is a section at the end of it, after the acknowledgements, in which the author is having a discussion with someone else, almost like probably part of the podcast, actually, Morbid, in which they're discussing the book, and she does reveal in that she's in the process of writing the next one. So we will see these characters again, which made me feel a little bit better, because this could have gotten like a 2-star had that been the case. I was so annoyed about it, like really annoyed. I'm really excited about the fact that we're going to come back to these characters, because then for intrigue, this got a 9. I am so intrigued by this, and I feel like this is going to be one of those books where I'm going to constantly be on the lookout for the next one, because I need to know what happens next. Like, I really need to know. It's got me in a chokehold. I need to know what happens next. So then, core pile, oh, I've already done logic. And then my enjoyment probably got like, I think it was like an 8 or a 9. I did enjoy it. It was good. I had a good time with it. It's short, it's snappy, it dumps you right in, it's go from the start, and it just continues all the way through till the end. But you could easily read this in one sitting. I did so. Would recommend the audiobook. It was very good. You do have 2 narrators for the different characters, and I just had a really good time with it, in all honesty, and that's the main thing for me. So it did get 4 stars. It's a low 4 stars, but it got 4 stars, and I would recommend it. I was scrolling through Goodreads while listening to the very end with the podcast bit where the author's talking to another person, and a lot of the ratings of this are people rating it saying that I don't understand what happened to the end of this book. I just don't get it. It makes no sense. You're thrown in, you don't know anything about these characters, you don't get to know a great deal about the characters, but you just kind of dropped into this book as if you should, you know, there was a prequel and we've not had it yet, and we've, you know, you've skipped book 1 and you've gone straight into book 2. However, and they're all like really annoyed because it doesn't end wrapped up neatly or anything. It's very like open-ended, incredibly open-ended, and there's been no chatter about the fact that there's going to be another one before this has come out. So a lot of people have been annoyed about that. So I did put in my review on Goodreads that if you listen to the audiobook, there is a section at the end that basically says that this is going to be, I don't know how long of a series, but there is going to be a sequel to it at least. So yeah, I had a good time with this one. I did have a good time with it. It was good. Very quick, easy read. So to choose my next read, I did put out on Instagram a post. Let's find out what the ratings were. So this was the post. Oh, go back. Ooh, that's close. So the poll results are 52% for In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, and 48% Math, 48% for The Witches of Moonshine Manor. So I am 40 votes to 37. I am going to pick up this next because I couldn't decide what to pick up next, to be honest. I want to read them both equally. So I am going to pick up In My Dreams I Hold a Knife next. So let's read the back of this one. I've heard such good things. 10 years after graduation, Jessica Miller has planned her triumphant return to Southern elite Duquesne University, down to the envious whispers that are sure to follow in her wake. Everyone is going to see the girl she wants them to see. Confident, beautiful, indifferent. Not the girl she was when she left campus, back when Heather Shelby's murder fractured everything, including the tight bond linking the 6 friends she'd been closest to since freshman year. But not everyone is ready to move on. Not everyone left Duquesne 10 years ago, and not everybody can let Heather's murder go unsolved. Someone is determined to trap the real killer to make the guilty pay. When the 6 friends are reunited, they will be forced to confront what happened that night, and years and the year's worth of secrets each of them would do anything to keep hidden. Told in racing and dual timelines with a dark campus set in a darker look at friendship, love, obsession and ambition. In my dreams I hold life as an addictive, propulsive read you won't be able to put down. I'm really looking forward to giving this one a read. So yeah, I'm not sure how far I'll get through this before I decide to give up for the evening, but we'll see. I may watch a movie or something, but it's already 8:30, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I believe Great British Bake Off is back on, and I'm debating whether or not to watch it. I don't know where I'll be able to find it, but I'm debating whether or not to watch it. But if I do that, everything else is going to go to shit because I fucking love that programme. So yeah, one book down. Let's move on to the second and see how this goes. Okay, hey, it's now Monday evening and I'm here just to wrap this vlog up because I didn't get a chance to yesterday and I hadn't yet finished with the last book in this vlog. So I am doing it now. It's Monday evening and I did finish In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. This was a good read. I don't know, I went into this with such high expectations because I know it's like the favourite thriller of the year for quite a few booktubers that I watch. For example, Kayla from Books and Lala, Riley Marie from Riley Marie Reads. And I just went into it with really high expectations and it just didn't nail it for me. It was good, don't get me wrong, and the twists and turns, there were so many of them, all the secrets that kept coming out between the friendship group and the different, you know, timelines and stuff. It was very well written. I enjoyed the way it was done. I will probably pick up more from Ashley Winstead in the future just to check them out. I know she's done another one, The Last Housewife or something, and I think Riley's reading that this month, or she's read it, I can't remember. But I am looking forward to potentially reading more from this author in the future. However, it was okay. It was just okay for me. I did give it 3 stars. I felt like it was a middle of the road kind of thriller. 3.5 if I did half stars, which I don't. I felt like it was a middle of the road kind of thriller, to be honest. And I don't know, there were some bits that didn't shock me as much as others. Some of the secrets were shocking, but there were bits in it that I just didn't find as shocking. And as I was going through and the secrets were being revealed, for example, when it finally came to crunch time and we were finally finding out who did what they did, I kind of predicted it. Not very early on in the book by any means, it was just before it was about to happen. I did predict it. But other than that, I enjoyed it. It was good. I'm glad I've read it because I know it is very, very popular at the moment over on BookTube and probably BookTok as well. I don't spend a lot of time over on BookTok, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I read it. So I have started October off pretty strong with reading 2 books. The Butcher and the Wren, which got 4 stars, and In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, which got 3. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's turned out to be a nice little reading weekend, and it's been nice to kind of ease back into life a little bit as well. Today's been a little bit busier. I have filmed 2 videos this morning, which I then edited both those videos and uploaded them and scheduled them. I did a Patreon post. I scheduled a whole bunch of Patreon posts, and I finished this. So I'm doing all right. I do think that I am going to go up actually and film another couple of videos. I want to try and get ahead on my videos so that I can spend a bit more time. I know it doesn't make any difference whichever way I do it, whichever way round I do it, but I always find that if I spend, now that I work for myself 3 days a week rather than 2, because I now work from home for myself on a Monday, Tuesday and Friday. I only work for my day job now Wednesdays and Thursdays. So now that I have that opportunity to do that, I like to make my Mondays, not always my Mondays, because sometimes Andy has, so he was off today but I didn't go and see him, but every other Monday he has off and every other Monday he works. So I do like to spend some time with him, so it will either be like a Monday or a Saturday that I'm thinking of, but I like to spend that day filming and editing and dedicating that day to filming and editing so that the following day, whether it be the Sunday or the Tuesday, I can spend that day reading. And now I have 2 days to do that because I can use a Tuesday and a Friday to read. So I do like to try and, you know, use the days where I can and be productive in them where I can. So I am feeling like my jet lag is really kicking my ass, I'm not gonna lie. It's currently 25 past 9 and I'm thinking about going up, filming 2 more videos, editing this one and those 2. So we'll see whether or not I do all of that, but I will probably go and film both of those videos so that they're done, and if I don't edit them this evening, then they're filmed and I can edit them later on in the week. But yeah, that's where I'm up to. So I'm gonna go because this is the end of this vlog now. I hope you have enjoyed. Chat to me in the comments down below. Have you read either of the books, The Butcher and the Wren or In My Dreams I Hold a Knife? Do you have any other recommendations for me similar to The Butcher and the Wren? Because I did enjoy that and I thought it was a good time. And I liked the length of it as well. I know you didn't get too much detail of the characters, but I still liked the length of it. I thought it was good. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video and I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.